Good morning, folks. Sorry about that. We had a minor technical hiccup as we went live. You know what? I think, nope, I'm going to have to stop this. We're going to have to go back and start it from another session. Oh, no, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, we're
I
live.
apologize. That was strange. Apologize for that little technical glitch. Good morning, folks. This is Nadex Morning Analysis. My name is Todd Rich. With me is my good friend Brian Caprice from Keep Trading Simple. Before Brian and I talk about some hot spots in the markets today, I need to share our disclaimer that trading may not be appropriate for everyone, that you are responsible for any trading decisions you make, and they are done at your own risk. And lastly, this is an educational session. Please do not construe anything Brian or I say as a trade recommendation. We are doing this for your education purposes. So, first up, I'm actually going to start. Let's talk about silver quickly.
Okay.
I don't know, Brian, if you got a chart there while I try to bring
Sure.
up my chart. If everyone can see, thank you. Silver, we talked about it on Friday. If you missed it on Friday, I say go back and listen to that short segment. But it's happening again today. As you can see, silver was up about 10% on Friday when we started talking about, and the U.S. equity markets opened. It pulled back a little bit. However, you see it has gapped higher this morning. It is now up about 13%. Now, what is going on with silver? And quite frankly, what's going on with silver is it is getting caught up in all of the fun discussions that are going on with the Reddit crowd. All right,
Yeah,
so
I think it's they're playing catch up at this point, is what most of it I believe that it is.
yeah, Reddit. They're talking about silver. They're pushing up silver. They're trying to drive the price of silver higher. So I ultimately what I really want to talk about quickly with silver, and you're now here. I got the Nadex platform up, and I mean you can see it was a week ago. Silver was trading down in the 24s. On Friday, it got up into the above 27, close to 28. It is now up near the $30 an ounce range. Can there be dislocations in price? Yes. We've seen that in some of these highly volatile stocks. GameStop went from being a $5 stock to a $400 stock. Did something happen fundamentally with GameStop's business? No, nothing at all. The price changed because of supply and demand of the stock. It had nothing at all to do with the company. We can see that dislocation in silver. So if you're looking for some short-term price action and some volatility, now what I've brought up here right now, these are the weekly binary options in silver. Now remember, binary options with a week to go, there's volatility is going to be factored into this. So you can see some of these higher strikes still. Everything, in fact, if you look at all these strikes out at the end of the week, they're all sort of tend toward 50. This is actually a great experiment in what happens with volatility and binary options. Is as volatility goes up, the probability that it will settle above one of these strikes starts evening out because no one really knows where silver is going to go if it's going to make these extreme volatile moves, and we've got 4 days until expiration. Could you trade these? Absolutely. But the prices might not move as much. Say, for instance, if we went to the 10 a.m., these will expire in a couple hours here today. If you expect to see some volatility when the U.S. equity markets open, you're going to see some potential trading opportunity. Now, again, I don't think Brian and I are going to give you any sort of technical or fundamental levels in the price of silver in the next couple hours. Let's make this a let's make this a 10-minute chart. So there we go. And I mean, again, you can see how much it's moved. I'm just trying to zoom in here and give you an idea. There's going to be some variance in the prices of these binary options because there's so much less time. Now, is there an opportunity to make money here? For sure. You're going to see volatility. Remember, every binary option is either got to go to 0 or 100 in the next 2 hours. But if you're going to have some movements like this, it's a hot spot. Definitely got to put it on your radar. And you can look down in the lower left-hand corner. You can already see silver's up now 18%. It's up $4.50 today. An 18% move in silver is a pretty dramatic move in silver. So if you're looking for a hot opportunity in Nadex markets, this is where you got to look. I know we are in the process right now of updating binary options for the dailies. I mean, it's just blown through so many strikes that we're having to add more strikes. So wanted to call that out. That's hot spot number one. The Reddit traders are causing price dislocations in the silver market. It creates opportunity for you. All right. So enough on that. Brian, let's talk about some more some markets where there's fundamentals and technicals going on, because I think there's some interesting news coming out of Europe. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over to you, and
I'll come
you
back
can
to
talk
that one.
about that.
Yeah, so early morning today, we had a bunch of different economic news releases from the European Union. A lot of them are some of the bigger numbers. Now, you see that they're considered impact of yellow, but going into Monday morning, it always tends to kind of bump because people are looking to see what the trajectory of the week is going to be. Now, some pretty important numbers. Now, anytime you ever see German, you can see that. Yeah, you can see it on your screen. Anytime you see German numbers, Germany basically dictates, as far as economy-wise, where the euro in general is going. Seeing retail sales again expected to be lower at minus 2%, coming in at 9.6 does not really exude confidence in the European economy. And again, you're seeing the euro, you're seeing the euro dollar down, the pound dollar down. You're seeing the euro pound more or less flat, but even the pound yen is basically flat, right? We also saw Spanish manufacturing PMI drop below the magical 50 number. So none of those things are good. French and German manufacturing, those are not really big movers, and we kind of know where those are coming in at already because they're final numbers. Unemployment, it actually, Italian unemployment actually went up from 8.8 to 9. So again, necessarily good. And then again, the pound numbers, they were all right. They were maybe, the monetary supply is not great, but for the most part, not really the best. And what we're seeing over in charts today, let me go across over to, where is it? Right here. You're able to see that for the most part, this last, let me get my little cursor. Hold on. Right there, we got my yellow circle. You guys can see that. As you can see, this is the European session thus. Now, we do look like we've bottomed and have it pushed back up again. We have hourly levels. We have a 4-hour level right here. This is the last time that buyers have really stepped in. So, the big push is really off the data that we've seen this morning. Now, I mentioned this last week as well as how do we trade European session data and what do we do with it? Now, if you look at the screen right now, all these blue lines are all these blue squares. These are European session opens till right now, right? It's basically that 6-hour time. And again, you can see it's very, very bursty, and then we tend to kind of retrace back a bit. In this first one here, we dropped down, we kind of pulled back, and a lot of times sideways before the next European session, which actually I should probably draw that for you guys just to make it consistent, which would be 3 up until is right there. All right, so these trades have been obviously numerous right now. This is kind of what we're looking at, but there's the move. Now, why do I bring this up? Why do I think about the European session? Actually, there's another one there. I forgot to put in as well. Let's make sure it's correct. Right there to there. Okay, so for the most part, you can see, guys, that the averages are about the same. We're getting about 60 pips out of these. The reason I'm bringing this up yet again is because I want to bring up, where is it? I had it on another one. Let me see. This piece right here. So, absolutely, without a doubt, the euro dollar is always going to have the smallest strike widths during the day. Okay? Now, it's been 60 pips in 3 hours, and this is something that I want to point out real quick. If you guys look right here, this one right in the middle, the 2-hour binary starting early morning, right? They only have a 4-strike differential. Okay? They over 40 pips this morning. This moved 10 strike prices in less than 2 hours. Huge trading opportunity off of this. Even if you look at dailies, they moved over 3 strike prices. So this kind of not so much today, because today I expect it to kind of retrace a little bit, maybe kind of go back into this middle of the curve range. But areas that I'd definitely be looking for, if we're able to rally back up, 21.28 had a huge push down. And in fact, today, it's 50 pips. So this one moved, 12, 13 strike prices to the downside? Very, very fast. In fact, in the first one, the first candle itself, 40, 44. So 11 strike prices in 1 hour today to the downside. So again, the ideal trading situation is to find out when we're going to have the maximum amount of movement and provide the correct kind of vehicle for it. There you go. That's the vehicle. But anyway, overall, the rest of what we can do today, again, any push lower, again, 2051.39, these are hourly levels. There's a 4-hour level that actually starts just above in here at 2064. So, what I would say is let's see what the open provides. If we can get a little bit of dollar strength coming in, look for a retracement back up. But if our open is nothing but up, look for us are here at 21.28.
All right, awesome. I'm going to drop in the Nadex platform real quickly because I want to keep us moving along this morning. That's actually great. Euro US dollar today. Keep an eye on it. US equities open. The market's going to open in about 20 minutes. Yeah, if we were to push up into this 120.30-ish range, here, let me draw that on there very quickly. I'm going to drop that on there for you. Here's that 120.30-ish. You can see it right on the chart. That's that upper area that Brian was talking about. Down below, I think it was 120.50, 120-60-ish area. But right now, we are drifting a little higher. Let's see what happens on the open. And again, these are binary options, so there might be an opportunity here if you were looking for it to either if it continues to go higher, you might want to be able to grab one of these binary options as we might think it make it back up to this 121.30-ish level before it meets some resistance with some sellers coming in. So something to keep an eye on. But again, you got to wait and see what happens in the open because no one really knows what's going to happen when the retail traders start getting into the markets. So there's a couple of hot spots today. Keep an eye on silver. It's already moved 18% today. Had some interesting economic news coming out of Europe impacting the euro US dollar. We already saw that, a dramatic emotional move overnight. Brian, is there any one last thing that you might want to toss out there? I know U.S. equities are all up around 1%.
All the equities are up. Yeah, all the equities are up this morning a bit.
Here,
I would say the one kind of different. Again, here. Yeah. I was going to say silver had that big push higher, and now it's put kind of a failure to go higher in on the 30-minute, and you're seeing kind of new lower highs in, and we're kind of pushing lower. So again, there'll be a bit of a reaction there. This is what we saw last time. But if you look, we had this huge gap on Sunday. We don't have that with gold. Gold is still butting around that 1870-ish range, and now again has the same lower high. So if you're looking for two, you can see that there's definitely some of that manipulation in silver. Gold still moving, and again, if the metals do turn, gold looks like it may be a better of a short today in those two metals for a retrace as well. So just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that's a wonderful one. And by the way, I mean, in theory, there would be a relationship between how silver and gold move because there is a relationship to the physical quantity of gold and silver.
Correct.
But again, that's fundamental analysis. We're not talking about fundamentals here with silver. It's a price dislocation.
Yeah, it's purely speculation trading is what generates this because they should be following a lot more closely right now.
So makes for interesting times. All right, with that, I want to thank you for joining us. If you got any questions for Nadex, join us or email us, please. Email us customerservice@nadex.com. Got any questions for Brian? You can email him at support@keeptradingsimple.com. We will be back tomorrow morning to do an analysis of what happened today. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting day. Not quite sure how this is all going to play out, but we'll keep teeing you up for the markets each and every morning. Thank you, folks. Let's get ready. We got 15 minutes to the U.S. Equity Open. Good luck in the markets.